Hi there. So, we are going to talk a little bit about meal planning. This is something that I'm constantly talking to my clients about and trying to figure out what works best for them. So, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I've done over the past couple years to that really works for my family. Now, when you're meal planning, I try to make it something that really fits your lifestyle because if it's something that you're cooking a lot and you are not a cook, it's not going to last for you. Same thing if you guys are busy every night and you're trying to plan these sit down meals, but it happens that somebody's over here at soccer practice and this person has tutoring. Again, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to show you what works for me, but please, hopefully, you'll find a couple of things in here that work for you and you can implement that into your meal planning as well. So before I get started, I always kind of survey the kitchen, see what we already have, see what is in the freezer, see what is in the pantry, so I know if I need to use up any of those things. Also, I do it at a designated time during the week. It's Sunday afternoon, my husband's watching football, my son is taking his nap. It's a quiet time that I can just go and plan and put the time and effort into it because I found that if I just sit down and do it, then it actually is a lot more productive and takes me less time than if I'm trying to plan here and there and fitting it into the day otherwise. So I did time myself this time and it took me about 23 minutes, but I've been consistently meal planning for the last 2 years. And so while the first couple times took me a lot longer, now I'm down to a solid, less than 30 minutes I can get it done. But I feel like that if that helps me plan and be more efficient during the week, then that helps as well. So a couple of things that I have here while I'm planning. I have my planner and I always make sure that I have my planner so I can see who's doing what, when my husband has soccer, if I have a meeting that night, if my son has something at school. Um, and it helps me plan out my week because to be honest, if my husband is not home, it's and I'm just feeding my son and I at the time, we'll usually do leftovers or something pretty quick and easy. I also have my shopping list that I make, and I'll show you guys this a little bit more after a while, and I also post it as well. But I have designed this for my method of shopping, the way that I move through the grocery store, so everything's right there and everything's into different colors. And I actually made these myself, just cardboard on the back that I covered with scrapbook paper and hot glue across the top to keep all the pages together. And then this is my recipe binder. So nothing spectacular here, but I created it out of necessity because I found myself doing a lot of mind cooking. I like to read cooking magazines. I like to look on Pinterest for new ideas, but I just had all this clutter of recipes. So this is the way that I organized it. So what I've done, I've just taken a 3 ring binder and then in here at the very front, I have done just one of the clear plastic, I don't know what you call them, but and I have cut out whenever I come across a recipe that I like or want to try, I cut it out and I put it in there. Now, after I have chosen it, and I usually choose 1 to 2 recipes per week, depending on what the week looks like and how much time I'm going to have to actually cook. Once I've picked it, I usually post it up. I have a bulletin board downstairs that I use. And then if we like it, then it goes in these later pages. So I just took, again, scrapbook paper, 3-hole punched it, and whenever we try something and we like it, I paste it in here. That way I know it's good to go, and I'm kind of making um, my own book in here. So have that. And when I initially sit down and I look at our week, I take my 1 to 2 recipes. So this week, we are doing chicken stuffed with tomato and cheese and zucchini lasagna. So I sit down, I look at my meal, or I look at my planner, and I see what day are we going to have time. I'm either going to have time to cook, or are we going to be able to sit down as a family and eat. And I put those on there. And you can kind of get a glimpse real quick. These green tabs that I use are how I designate what we're going to eat that night. And then as I'm putting things down, I also try to make note. For example, we're having zucchini lasagna on Wednesday. So I know that on Monday, I'm going to have some extra time And I'm going to go ahead and write in here prep zucchini lasagna. Same thing down here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays I work. So on Tuesday we're having pulled pork with veggies. And so in the morning I have put pork in crock pot. So I always try to kill two birds with one stone and write down what meal we're having and then also write down any sort of prep that goes along with it in the appropriate day. And that way I don't get home from work Tuesday and go, oh my gosh, we were supposed to have pulled pork and there's no way it's going to cook in time. So we're going out to eat. Or we're having, cereal for dinner, which is how it used to happen before I started being very conscientious and mindful about meal planning. So I pick those 1 to 2 recipes, I put them in my week where they belong. Then I look at the rest of the week and think, okay, is there anything special that needs to be done? Is there a night that I'm not going to have time to cook? I already know that on the days that I work, I try to have something that's just quick and easy that I can pull together. I also look for any days that we are going to need to eat out. So Friday we have an event with friends, so we'll be eating out and we'll be ordering pizza for the babysitter and my son to enjoy while we are gone. And then anything else where I can fit in leftovers, trying to just take into account what's going on in life. Now, of course, life doesn't always go this way, but it at least makes sure that I have the ingredients that I'm going to need and I'm not just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. I only plan dinners. I do not plan lunches or breakfast because breakfast is pretty much, the same couple of items. We might do eggs or waffles or cereal, or, if I get really special, I'll make some pancakes. But for the most part, it's pretty much grab and go, easy things. Lunch is same thing. We use a lot of leftovers, my husband and I do, and then my son on the days he goes to school usually gets some sort of sandwich and a fruit or a vegetable on the side. Otherwise, during the week, he's eating leftovers or eating whatever I do for lunch too. So my shopping list here, as you can see, one thing that helps me that as I'm going through and I'm gathering my whatever I need and planning my meals, I simultaneously make my shopping list as well. So I write down anything I need. Some things are very specific, so I know that I need garlic and zucchini, but I also just need fruits and vegetables for the week. Other things too, like we're having playgroup at our house tomorrow, so I need to get playgroup snacks, but I just wrote down playgroup snacks because quite honestly, I'll just see what's on sale, what I think is a good idea, and pick it up when I get there. So hopefully that helps you when meal planning. And I do tell people if you can't, manage doing it for an entire week, just do 3 days at a time. Or maybe you're somebody that, you're cooking for a much larger family and you want to plan 2 weeks at a time. I just find that I cannot predict my life that far in the future. And I know that it's going to get worse as time goes on. We add children and add activities and all that stuff. So, trying to dive in wherever you are, pick what you can handle, and just give it your best shot. And then worry about the nitty gritty of food groups and nutrition and all that stuff. But my biggest thing is to make sure you plan, make sure you write down what you're going to do, and figure out the method that works best for you. Happy cooking!